Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Double Stuff Podcast, where we're double the topics, double the hosts, double the fun. And I'm Alan.
I'm Dan.
I'm Charity.
And I'm Sarah.
And guess what? Guess what, guys?
What?
It came again. It's Valentine's Day.
Valentine.
It's Valentine's Day coming up.
I think when I was congested as a kid, I think that's how I said it.
Of course,
Valentine's
everybody
Day.
did.
Everyone's favorite holiday.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the day of love. It is the day of wishing for love. It's the day that you step up to your crush and get crushed.
I was going to say it is an ironic word to use.
Realistic moment there.
That's right. So Valentine's Day is obviously one of the holidays that we celebrate here in the U.S. of A. It's not a major holiday. Was it a big day for you guys? I don't even know what I'm saying. It's a huge day when you're growing up, but as you grow older, does it kind of dissipate or does it stay big? Do you guys keep the flames of the season alive? Let's start with you, Dan.
Yeah, let's start with the other married guy.
Yeah, married guys can have a lovely conversation about this.
You know, when you're younger, the thing that I think that strikes or jumps out to me is the those little cards that you used to get where you start like to and from, and you could get like Marvel superheroes
or Ninja Turtles or something. Nothing says I love you like a Ninja Turtle.
Exactly. I remember those. Well, I remember giving those. I don't really remember getting them a whole lot.
I would have given you one, Dan.
I think in elementary school you're like contractually obligated to give one to every person in school.
Well,
that's why I get the big boxes.
You get your school list. Like your mom pulls out the school directory or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
And that way you have all the kids' names in alphabetical order and, whose class is whose, or if you do like the combined class party, you got your second grade list, your third grade list. So that way everybody gets a Valentine and nobody feels upset.
Right.
Right. Nobody feels left out.
Yeah.
Little candies that have like message on them, like the different messages that are misspelled.
The
That's
ones
right.
that taste like chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for like 100+ years.
They taste like they have
They
too.
taste like they've been around for.
They made the forever batch and then they just dole them out each year. That's gross.
They're like, no one's gonna live to 2021.
Right.
We'll still make a lot just in case.
That's right. Yeah, the teacher runs out of chalk. Oh, I'm out of chalk. It's okay. It's Valentine's Day. Mrs. Warble, here you go.
Mrs. Warble.
I don't know. It's the first thing that popped in my mind.
Mrs. Warble's Valentine's Day.
Sounds like a teacher name.
Yeah, well, it does. Well, and then you were talking. You were really modest talking about Valentine's Day not being a very big deal. But according to a very quick Google search I did in 2020. For Valentine's Day sales,
Okay.
It was an increase of $6.7 billion. Well, $6.7 billion was in 2019. It was $27 billion in 2020.
Now, how's that figured? Because are we talking about like going out to restaurants? Are we talking about?
I think it's just. I'm assuming it's everything from chocolate to restaurants to diamonds to whatever you constitute as Valentine's Day.
Showing your love in a monetary form.
That's right.
Yeah, or just straight up cash, which I'm completely cool for.
Yeah, I'll take cash.
We don't really like go in for the whole. We don't go out and eat. I mean, that's just something that we always try to avoid doing because it's so busy. We'll usually try to make something here at home, but we also don't really go in on the whole like expensive jewelry, presents, that kind of thing. Mostly because I think it's a nice day. I think it can be like a sweet day, but I also think that like if you kind of treat your relationship as if every day is Valentine's Day, then it's not as big of a thing to mark.
Now that
Danny, how sweet.
That sounds cute now that you've been married for a while, but I'm sure when you two when you Dan were dating and of course Alan I'm sure that your perspectives were a lot different in the dating life than you are now that you're married.
Old married men.
Yeah.
Probably true. Yeah.
So while that sounds great, Dan, it's like, we don't really care about all that. I'm sure you went all out to try to win the affections in the first place.
Well, he's the one that proposed in Paris, right?
Yeah,
So,
you can't get that. That's straight up like Valentine's cinema.
You can't top that. No other Valentine's Day is going to top a Paris proposal.
He's the one talking all low key because
Dan's the winner
that's Danny.
You did
Definitely.
like a full Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Sort of.
All I did was propose.
We're kind of jumping around in ages and genres. We talked about elementary school.
Yeah.
Moving up to middle school and high school, I don't remember so much middle school, but I do remember in high school the very suave and very hand-wringing part of Valentine's. I think it was the boosters or student council or something, but they would sell roses.
Yes.
And you would have a rose, and then they would deliver it to whoever it would go
Our school
to.
did carnations.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Roses and carnations, and that was a really good way of letting people know who didn't get selected.
Exactly. That's the hand wringing part, right? It's
Mhm.
like, did I know? Did I? Well,
Oh, I stopped hand wringing probably the first year because I knew I wasn't going to get a flower.
aw, I'd give you a flower, Sarah.
Okay, so I have a story about that. So I think this
Okay.
was 7th or 8th grade, and the seniors in our school, they would sell the roses to raise money for a school trip or some crap like that. And so, you could, sorry, I'm not bitter about this.
No.
Anyway, I will preface the story saying that this didn't happen to me, but it was still hurtful to see. So there was a girl in my class. She had a crush on a guy in the next grade up. And so some of her quote unquote friends bought like a ton of carnations because they were $1 a piece. They bought a ton of carnations, had them sent to her in the guy's name that she had a crush on.
Oh.
So the whole day she was just floating on air, just thought this was the greatest thing that this guy bought her, like a dozen carnations, and she thought it was fantastic. And so at the end of the day, she happily goes up to the guy and she's like, "Thank you so much for the carnations. Like, I felt really special this Valentine's Day." The guy has no idea what she's talking about. He's
Oh.
like,
Yep.
"What are you talking about? I didn't get you any flowers."
Oh.
And so then at that point, her quote unquote friends behind her are like giggling, like, "Gotcha,"
That's
as
a
if that's a
yeah.
hilarious prank. And I'm like, she has been,
That's a Carrie situation.
yeah, like
Oh,
floating on
gosh.
air, like super in love with this guy forever. She thinks that she gets flowers on Valentine's Day. Turns out it's a joke. And so this was like a showdown. Like, we were right in the middle of getting ready to go to class. She's yelling at this group of girls like in the hallway, and she's crying, and it was just this
Sure.
whole scene.
Well, in 7th,
So,
8th grade,
yeah.
what? That's 13, 14. You're
That's the
I mean,
impressionable age.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And everything is amplified
Yeah.
with hormones, puberty, and everything else. I mean, yeah, that's cruel. Don't do that. If anybody's listening,
Don't-
that wasn't an
Yeah,
idea.
No Valentine's Day pranks. Don't do that. That's
No.
horrible.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I think of when I think of Valentine's Day, which is really
Okay, well, if we're
terrible.
going with crushes, so
crush or being crushed.
being crushed,
okay.
both. I'd go
Okay.
with both. There was when I was, it must have just started into youth group or something like that. So what's the age on youth group? Was that like 6th, 7th grade?
Well,
middle
it
school?
depends on the church. If it's a bigger church, you usually
Okay.
have 5th and 6th grade separate, and then like 7th through
7th
8th
through-
grade, and then
Okay.
9th through 12th.
Well, there
Yeah.
was a lovely Tammy Smitherton that I had a
Tammy.
crush on. Oh
Aw.
yes, and when we would get together for our prayer circle, we
Prayer.
wouldn't
You'll
just
hold
hold
hands?
hands. We would interlock fingers.
Aw.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I had back then the Hardee's would have, and I don't know if they still do this or other fast food chains or whatever, but they would make heart-shaped chocolate chip cookies, and for some reason I thought that was boss. If I could just get her a heart-shaped chocolate chip cookie or something. So I got that. I had like some flowers. I had like a stuffed animal or something. I mean, I was really crushing hard for Tammy, and
I'm getting sad for you already in this
I
story.
know.
right? Okay, so I had my sister who could drive, so I couldn't drive then. So I would have been 13, 14 or something like that. Drive me to her house,
Oh no.
and I did the long walk up to the door, rang the doorbell with all the goodies,
Uh-huh.
all the Valentine's goodies, and her dad opened the door.
Oh.
And he said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'd like to talk to Tammy." And he said, "She's not going to talk to you."
Oh.
And I got blocked by her dad, and I didn't know what to do. And I don't remember what, after he said, "She's not going to talk to you," I can't remember what was said. There might have been some other words, but then the door closes, and I'm just standing there in
Oh.
front of the house.
Dang.
Yeah.
Shut down my dad.
So anyway, I make
did
the
you talk to her
long walk.
at school? Do you remember? Did you ever talk to her?
Oh, this was a
This is a youth group.
yeah, youth group
or not
girl.
at school, but the next Wednesday night.
No, what happened was, so I took the long walk. Just be patient.
Oh, okay. There's
Just be
more to the
patient.
story. Okay.
I took the long walk back down the walk to the car, and my sister, we locked eyes, and she knew that something happened.
Aww.
And I can't even remember what we talked about in the car. I just remember it being quiet. So maybe she knew and I knew that this wasn't something to be discussed just yet. Anyway, that
was
week,
nice of her, though.
that was nice.
Yeah.
I got the best sister. Anyway, that week I got a letter in the mail from her telling me why, and it seemed forced. It almost seemed like her dad told her what to write.
Probably.
And anyway, she wrote me a letter saying that she was only going to date. She believed in courtship, and she was only going to date the person that she wanted to marry. And I was like, that's not what she's like at all. And I was like, okay, this isn't her at all. But anyway, it didn't work out. But Tammy now lives her life, and she has a fantastic life. She's doing
so you guys
fantastic.
are still friends?
No, well, I mean, I'm
Facebook friends, like you.
I don't even think we're Facebook.
No?
friends.
He just
You just assume that she's living happily ever after.
She has a great life, I guess.
Best of luck to you, Tammy. We're rooting for you.
While we're giving our Valentine woes, do you have any, Dan, or did everything turn out good when you were in school?
I don't honestly remember having a lot of like Valentine's Day woe stuff, especially from like the middle school, high school era. I mean, it's woe because I didn't really have any friends in middle school, but in high school I did. And we didn't really do a whole lot my freshman year. By the time my sophomore year rolled around, I was dating my now wife at that point. So we've been together, we've had all of our Valentine's Day since then.
So sweet.
So
See,
sweet.
I mean, like I said, I don't have any like woe stories, which is good. I mean, I've seen them from afar. I guess out of everybody in this series, I'm the only one that hasn't been in a relationship, like with anybody of any kind. But what's really sweet is
overrated.
that, well, coming,
I'm sitting right here, Charity.
Cover your ears, guys.
But what has been sweet is that I did get one carnation, I think, either 10th or 11th grade, and I found out that it was from my dad.
Oh,
which is sweet because, my dad's the best. He is. And I do like that even still to this day, he still, on Valentine's Day, always gives, me, Charity, and Chrissy, my mom, either a rose or like a carnation, a little tiny box of chocolates.
That's classic.
And some little like stuffed animal or some kind of Snoopy sticker. Or
I got a minion last time. I still have my little minion. From Despicable Me.
So while I haven't had like a relationship with like a guy yet, at least daddy will do until the other one comes along.
I do have a happy story. I know I said a really horrible story from the beginning. So my happy story from high school, it's sort of I don't know if they still do this now, but it was sort of a tradition. I think this started my sophomore year or something, that one of the guys would get like all the girls a rose and leave it in their locker. Or I say locker, it was more of a cubby.
I think wouldn't they like tape it onto the door?
Yeah, it was not to the door. This was we moved here. But,
okay.
So the girls would show up at school, or it would be like in between, like after lunch break or something, like in between classes or whatever, and you would go to your locker, and like the girls' lockers were on the left side, the guys were on the right, so all the girls would have a rose in their little cubby, and it was really cute because everybody got one. So from 6th grade to 12th, it wasn't like, I have a boyfriend, so I get flowers. Like everybody gets one rose in
That's
the
the way to go.
Yeah. So it was very, very sweet.
What I used to do in school is that, I know that there would be both girls and guys that wouldn't get the acknowledgement. So a lot of times, and I wasn't making a lot of money when I was in college, but I would always go to Walmart, get the really big heart box of like Whitman's chocolates.
I don't know Whitman's.
Whitman's? That's a really popular brand of chocolate.
I know that. Was it Palmer's? And then there's Russell Stover's that makes out.
There's different types, but like
Ferrero Rocher, that's my wife's favorite.
The fancy schmancy kind.
Uh-huh.
But I would always get a big box of heart-shaped chocolates and just sit it out for whoever wanted to get some chocolate.
Aww,
so I still do that from time to time.
Sure.
What I do like, since we were talking about elementary school, high school, college stuff, like now that I'm a full-grown adult, and at least in the working world, it doesn't seem to be as in your face, at least in my experience. I mean, sometimes you get the people and they come with the candygrams and the balloons and the flowers, and sometimes you get the singing telegrams, which is a bit cringy but cute at the same time.
Yeah.
But for some, like as an adult, it doesn't bother me nearly as much because it's not like they're like, oh look what someone gave me and not you.
Yeah.
Oh, poor you. I didn't get that as much after getting into the job industry.
The best part about Valentine's Day is
the day after because you get the markdown chocolate.
You get your half off candy.
Heck
and
yeah.
You get the holiday Reese's.
The heart-shaped Reese's.
Yes. Holiday Reese's. I think I said this on a previous podcast. The holiday Reese's are the best because you get more peanut butter than the regular Reese's.
And it tastes like the real peanut butter, not like that weird chemical mess that they put in there now.
You got Valentine's Day hearts, the Easter eggs, the Christmas trees, the pumpkins. Like those are the best Reese's to have.
That's true. Well, and I think as I've gotten older and now spending, I think I was too cool. Like after high school, I was almost too cool for Valentine's Day. Of course, I was disenfranchised, and I thought, every holiday's a racket and whatnot. It's all commercialized.
I mean, it is commercialized, but you still want to benefit from the commercial, right?
But there's been a couple of times where I hit the home run on Valentine's with my wife, and both while we were dating and then engaged and then married.
Yeah,
where I actually kind of came through as a sweetheart. So
I feel like we need a follow up for Mac just to
I know
stories are true. You're like, let me pat myself on the back. I feel Valentine's Day, and she's like, no.
I'm going to come out looking like such a chump because I can only think of really one time where I got her a ring for Valentine's Day, but it's not like it's a commonplace thing where every year I'm doing something awesome. Yeah, okay, I'll make a promise. This Valentine's Day I'm going to do something special for you.
He's gonna watch out, Mac. He's gonna get you a ring pop. Be like, I got you some jewelry.
A ring pop.
I didn't say what kind.
That's true.
It's your favorite
strawberry. I know. I'm so hit and miss when it comes to being a romantic. I really am.
Well, along with that, Dan, is there in the past? I mean, I know you guys are low key Valentine, but surely there's got to be one time since matrimony that you've actually kind of gone all out.
I mean, you're putting me on the spot here.
Do we need Sally here to confirm this?
Follow-up wife episode.
She has the good memory compared to me. I
think that's called grounds for divorce.
Oh no!
It could be actually.
It's like I got her something. I think once that was nice. Was it the 14th?
I'm not kidding, by the way, about my memory being terrible, because I was sitting here thinking back in high school, we did this fancy Valentine's Day dinner thing. So I checked with two people and both of them said, no, it was around Thanksgiving, not Valentine's Day. So it's terrible.
That's awesome.
The fact that he remembers to record this episode is beyond me.
I brought you a Christmas gift. It's President's Day. Oh, dang it.
I was way off.
So I think a funny gift, if you see at Dillon's, or I think Walmart has it too, they have steaks in the shape of a heart.
I've seen those.
And it's so funny because my little sister, she's the ultimate carnivore. She wouldn't go vegan if someone paid her. And she's like, yeah, that's what I want for Valentine's.
Yeah, she would.
Two ribeyes shaped like a heart.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Actually, yeah. So if a guy does give her a heart-shaped steak, she'd probably just marry him on the spot. She'd be
Pro tip.
The way that her heart is meat.
So, in terms of, I know there's not really a lot of Valentine's Day traditions because it's not really that kind of holiday. But
Valentine's Day Massacre.
That really should be more of a one-off.
I don't know if that's a tradition.
Yeah, steer clear of that.
That's not a
I was just saying.
That's hardly a tradition.
You might go straight to mobsters.
Well, when we were earlier in the episode talking about the Valentine's Day woes, have you guys ever watched the Charlie Brown Valentine episode?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that one. Oh, you're not sure, Dan? Have you not seen that?
I'm not sure if I have seen that one.
You totally need to see it because that's the most realistic, hard-hitting Valentine's Day for kids.
Poor Charlie Brown.
Poor Linus in love with me.
No, it's more of Linus's episode than Charlie Brown. I mean, Charlie Brown, you already know he's not going to get a Valentine, but Linus, poor guy, he's going through it.
Yeah.
So much.
He's swinging for the fences on that one.
Yeah, but one of Charity's favorite scenes, because earlier in this series we were talking about if our podcast was a movie, and I said Charity is Lucy Van Pelt. So there's a scene in that episode where Lucy's talking about the reactions of a lost love, and so she's talking to Schroeder. It's a regular conversation, and then it escalates.
Because Lucy's fed up. She's always, talking about her love for Schroeder, and he's too busy playing his piano.
Yeah.
Like, pay attention, wake up, Schroeder.
So go to YouTube and check it out. But it's like she goes completely ballistic. She starts jumping and destroying Schroeder's piano. Anyway, that whole scene is Charity's favorite, which further proves that that's her alter ego.
Oh,
I
boy.
just find it hilarious.
Because apparently I visualized Charity jumping on top of a...
Love, I have that type of destruction in me.
Love is a volatile emotion. Well, not to water it down, for those of you passionate folks that are out there,
Yes.
keep your passions aflame with the holiday. But like I said, not to water it down, it's also a holiday just to appreciate each other and to show each other appreciation. It doesn't have to be romantic affections. It could just be, hey, you're important to me, and I want you to know that. So with that, happy Valentine's, everybody. Thanks for listening to today's episode. You can find other episodes on doublestuffpod.com or on your favorite podcast apps. You can also participate in the fun on social media on Facebook and Instagram at doublestuffpodcast and on Twitter at doublestuffp, as in the letter P.